Did you catch any of the ESPYs last night?
No, I did not. I saw a few clips this morning, but no.
Let me tell you something about the ESPYs. I remember when there were no ESPYs. I'm sure you do.
Of course.
What was that, 25 years ago? They probably started, maybe before that.
That I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. And I remember when someone said, and they used to do it in February. They moved it now to July because it's the biggest
Quiet
open
season.
hole. It's the quietest season. It's after the baseball All-Star game. There were, other than like Wimbledon and some soccer and stuff, there was no sports yesterday. So they do the ESPYs, and I remember when they introduced it on ESPN as like an Oscars for sports. I said to my friend, I'm going to watch that so hard. That's going to be, I can't wait because I'm so into sports.
It's your favorite things merged into one.
All their
awards.
Yeah.
The glitz of an Oscars.
Yes. And
sports
and ESPN. And I lived and breathed. I wanted to be on ESPN at the time. And I've never seen more than 5 minutes. I mean, all told, I've never watched. I don't know why it never calls to me, the ESPYs, you know?
I really feel like the thing that put the ESPYs on the map and the reason they are still on today is that Jimmy
Valvano, of course.
Yeah, and I really think that did it, and that's why they have it every year. And I try to tune in, and then I'm like, I don't care.
And that speech, that Jim Valvano speech was at the ESPYs. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah.
And, he died in 93, so that's at least 30 years. I think that was probably year 2 of the ESPYs. It was. I don't think it was the first.
And then Stuart Scott had a great speech.
Great
So
speech.
I think that, and they play those, basically, that is the lead up to it.
Yeah.
And then that always makes me go, well, maybe I need to.
Me too.
And then it starts, and I'm going,
me too.
I don't care who had the catch of the year.
I am a horrible person.
I am. I'm a horrible person. Last night, the speech everyone's talking about came from Damar Hamlin, who was the Buffalo Bills player who was injured on the field, he was basically dead on the field. He had the heart issue, the cardiac arrest on the field, and he introduced the entire team that saved him.
Oh.
We don't have the speech.
You don't have that?
We don't have the speech. And I'll tell you why. I looked at it, and I said, we can't cut this anywhere. It's so moving, so emotional, and we don't have time to play the whole thing.
I'm not giving you 3 minutes.
Now, I love Damar Hamlin. There's nobody that's been around that story, wrapped his arms around it more than I have. Dave Aiken and I went and got CPR training after Damar Hamlin. Remember that? Now,
it wasn't, it happened after Damar, but it was mostly
Biggie related. Okay, it's Biggie related. We had some
after Biggie's heart scare.
We got some heart issues here in the room. And Dave and I said, let's get ready for this. I was interested in the lead up to it. Pat McAfee, who is a radio show host, Sirius XM host.
Moving to ESPN soon.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
He's done really, really well. Very funny guy.
Yeah.
And he was on introducing Damar Hamlin, and I guess he was the host of the ESPYs.
He wasn't a host, but he sort of emceed, introduced the show.
So he's introducing, and he's talking about the Damar Hamlin story, and this is the way he did it.
The situation unfolding on Monday Night Football as Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were trying to navigate the waters, and we all at home feared for the absolute worst. And Skip Bayless was like, get that dead body off the field. We got playoff implications on the line. He said it. The tweet's still up. Hashtag delete the tweet, Skip. Come on.
That made me pucker. I don't like
I know
stuff
you wouldn't like
I
that.
do not like stuff like that.
You could kind of feel the audience is like, yeah.
It's a little bit of a pucker there. So what happened? Skip Bayless said, we got to move on. We got to play this game. Bayless said,
if I recall correctly, he was tweeting like, all right, let's go.
Well, let's play.
Yes. Now, of course, and prayers. Let's go.
Now, of course, he is older.
He is. He was like, play the game. His point was, hey, this is going to affect the home field advantage for the playoffs. This is a big game.
Was it Bills Bengals?
It was Bills Bengals. I mean, it was like week 15 Bills Bengals. And
superstar teams.
Well, and the truth is, the Bengals were winning the game, and they wound up playing in the playoffs in Buffalo because they canceled the game. Had the Bills won it, they would play the game in Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati went into Buffalo and won the game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they went ahead and won. But Skip Bayless, he came under some fire.
Get up off your knees. All right, one prayer is good enough. Let's go.
Look, the ambulance has left the facility.
Let's go. Play. Joe Burrow.
That's McAfee.
Let's go get warmed up. He went there. I puckered on it. When I sat there, I was like, I don't like this. There have been some other ESPYs where it's made me pucker. Norm Macdonald, I think, was one who.
Yeah, God, that was so long ago.
He made some OJ jokes. He did some OJ
he was
stuff.
talking to, was it Reggie Bush? in the audience?
Maybe like as USC.
Or maybe somebody won the Heisman that year, and they said they can never take that away from you unless you kill your wife and a waiter.
That's right. That's right. That was the Norm Macdonald piece. Made me pucker.
Yeah.
This was years ago, and I do those things. I didn't like it. But
so now you're off for another 10 years?
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it I'll probably never watch it. But Skip Bayless, that's right. His point was, all right, let's go. Enough already. Let's move. Honestly, I wasn't watching that game. I was asleep. But I probably would have had the thoughts of, they are going to play. I mean, I wouldn't have tweeted it because I don't know how. But I probably would have thought, let's play. Let's do this.
Oh, you have very Skip Bayless mentality.
Let's go.
Playoff implications. Fantasy implications.
I think that ran Shannon Sharp off of his. I think Shannon got up and walked out.
I think he did, actually.
Day, and he's now quit. He's
supposed to have split.
Because they used to go back and forth and argue on that show. And Shannon Sharp was like, I can't even sit in the same room with you. He pulled the Whoopi Goldberg, how she walks
the walk off.
Yeah.
The meaningless walk off.
One of my favorite impressions Chris Demm does, and it's visual totally, is Whoopi Goldberg walking off the set of The View, which she's done many times because she kind of has to shuffle.
But it's a process.
She's not moving. She doesn't move.
Frank, it's like me walking off.
Right, yeah.
It is.
Like I have to get up, open the door, push some chairs out of the way. I've had enough.
Rearrange some furniture.
It doesn't have the impact. It doesn't have the punch. It really should
ease off the stool.
Whoopi's aging. It's hard for her. Yeah, she's got to get down off the stool. She's got a bad knee. All of those things. Another thing from the ESPYs last night, LeBron James was talking about his future. Had what they're calling a drop the mic moment.
I don't care how many more points I score or what I can or cannot do on the floor. The real question for me is, can I play without cheating this game? The day I can't give the game everything on the floor is the day I'll be done. Lucky for you guys, that day is not today.
How about that? That's what Chris Demm says every day at the end of this show. If you're not listening at the end of this show, he's like, I don't care how many more games I got in me. When I stop having fun at this job, I'm done. Lucky for you, I'll be back in here tomorrow.
Yep. Today is not that day.
Today is not that day. Chris Demm will be back. Was there ever?
No,
I didn't have a doubt.
I thought that was kind of odd because everyone's like, LeBron's not retiring. I'm like, I didn't know there was rumor he was.
No, we knew that. Didn't he say that right after the season? He's like, yeah, I'm all right.
He has said, and I guess he's backed off it a little.
He's backed off the sun thing.
Yeah, Bronny.
But he wants to. That's his goal.
To play on the same floor.
So he's really got one more year.
What do you think?
Carmelo's retired. And you kind of see those two as a LeBron and Carmelo.
They came in together.
As a box.
Yeah, they did. When did Carmelo? Was that?
But frankly, Carmelo's play fell off
big time.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron has stayed steady, and I think even I bet he averages 20 points again this next season.
Yeah,
and I think he does end up playing with his son. I don't know if they're really going to play on the same team.
Yeah,
or if they're just going to be at the same time because I mean. Bronny's doing a year. He's doing a year at USC next year. They already have him as a top 20 draft.
Do they?
Yeah.
So they'll probably wind up on the same floor.
A lot of people have him not high, but going in somewhere between 10 and 20.
So if he's on a different team, will he guard his father? And that'll be what a moment.
Yeah. You'll see that picture and video everywhere.
Oh yeah.
You're looking for a Ken Griffey Jr. type.
Yeah, right.
Moment.
But in basketball, it's a bit different. I mean, you could literally put them on each other one on one if you want. I mean, they could do it in parts of the game.
Yeah. So I didn't when they. And that's the news this morning. It's like LeBron's not retiring. I'm like. There was never a chance he was.
No, I didn't think so either. I'll tell you something else about LeBron. Now, BB and Shay and I are at odds on this. We'll podcast about it at some point,
good.
I'm sure. I'll never say that there's any better player than Jordan. I loved him. I loved everything about him. I'll always say Jordan. He's must-watch TV. But 20 years in, LeBron is probably the most consistent player I've ever seen. He's not what he was, but he's still a really good player.
Yeah.
20 years into it.
He's still averaging 20-some points.
Yeah. I mean,
and I think he will next year.
He's not the best player in the league anymore, and he's not what he was 10 years ago, but he is still a very, very high-level player. He's one of the top 20 players in the league for sure, don't you think? Even now at this advanced age.
Yeah, and I'm with you. Jordan is my ultimate.
Me too.
I'm never going to be changing it to LeBron. That's just not going to happen.
Right.
But look what the man's doing. It's impressive.
We could substitute the name Chris Demm for LeBron James. We said, here he is, 30 years in, 30 years plus, still doing it, consistent level. He's not as good as some. He's not what he was. He's not what he was 10 years ago.
The production has dropped off, but look at the people around him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the teammates he once has. You know, look at the people around him, but he still brings it.
Where's my Dwayne Wade?
You know, where hadn't seen one yet. Have not seen a Dwayne Wade in here yet. Some more sports dirt. What do Zion Williamson, Chris Kelly, and Biggie have in common? Tough time staying on a diet. It's a very difficult time.
Yeah.
Zion said, now Zion came into last season, and most people thought Zion, this is NBA related, would be an all-time superstar, and he was picked number 1 overall. And the Pelicans, when they got him, were just like, oh my God, it's like the second coming. It was kind of like a LeBron thing or a Wembanyama thing this year for Zion Williamson. He struggled to stay on the floor. And last year, he went into the season at 309 pounds, which was his heaviest. He was at Duke. He was listed at 287, but he was 309 once he got to New Orleans last year. And he's had hamstring issues, knee issues, back issues, never been able to stay on the field. Even still, the Pelicans have signed him to a new 5-year, $197 million contract. And he's quoted as saying, I got all the money in the world, and man, I just love to eat and drink and have fun. And he's got off the court issues as well.
They said, much like us, that he loves basketball. He said that he loves the game of basketball. He loves playing it. He hates the work.
Yeah,
he hates the work it takes to be an NBA player, which is
got to put in
the
work.
workouts. Yeah. Like if he could, he'd just go play basketball.
Yeah,
but with his frame and his size, he has to work, and that's just not what he wants to do.
But the great athlete, the great really at any job, is when you're alone and there's nobody watching. You're grinding away. Look at this man, Chris Demm. Studies those album covers, goes back, looks at them alone in the night. You know, nobody knows he's doing it.
It's a little weird.
He's grinding away all the time. Zion says, man, I'm 22 years old. I got all this money. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I live in New Orleans. It's a food capital.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a beignet.
And I feel a little...
I'm just not going to say I'm not going to work out.
I feel a little bad for the Pelicans because everyone's like, how could you sign him? And they were like, we had to.
Yeah.
Somebody else would have.
They would.
Yeah. They were like, somebody would have given him that money. Yeah. And now it's like they're trying to trade him. But I don't think any teams, they're not going to get back for him with day one, basically.
It's tough because he is a great talent if he can stay healthy, but he has not been able to stay healthy. The way he plays and apparently his work ethic is not quite what it should be. He loves a Creole. He loves a gumbo.
A little etouffee.
He just, that's what he's going. He's 22 years old. What do you want me to do? They catch him out there on Bourbon Street, eating these
I'm on my way to the gym. I smell a crawfish boil.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
I mean, geez, it's Zion. That's how it is.
I recall during that draft, there were jokes being made about this exact situation, like somebody needs to be with him in New Orleans.
We know the struggle. I mean, both of us. We have gone through this.
Ups and downs.
Ups and downs all the time. Exactly. And one more piece of sport dirt today. This is really something. There's that baseball team in Savannah, the Savannah Bananas.
I want to go to a game.
I do too. That's a really smart thing.
Well, they're barnstorming across North Carolina. I think they've got games in Durham and Kannapolis.
And we're on in Savannah, and the people love them there.
I would like to see. I'd like to go there. I'd like to go to their home park. Yeah.
If you don't know the Savannah Bananas, they're kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters. They play baseball, but it's a completely different game. They come up and do all these crazy stunts.
They bend the rules a lot,
and have different rules.
But it's a show.
It's so great. Here's one of the rules, and really, maybe this should be transferred to Major League Baseball. Rule number 8, if a player hits a foul ball into the stands and a fan catches it, you're out.
The player is out.
I love it.
The batter is out.
That should be a rule.
You talk about speeding up a game now. Bring your glove.
Yeah.
You can make a play for the home team. What a home field advantage, too.
Finally, guy with glove gets his due.
Yes. What a home field advantage for a baseball team. If your fan catches an opposing or any team's foul ball, the batter is out. So last night they're playing, and it's a late rally for the opposing team. Bottom of the 9th, and somebody hits a laser into the stands.
Dustin Baber with a barrel, but foul! Caught by a fan, and that's your ball game! A laser beam from Dustin Baber! What a play by that young man! And the Nanners win 5 points to 1! And the entire team going out there to swarm the fan! That is why you bring your club to a ball game! Game ended by the fans, the Bananas win it 5-1! Are you kidding me? Savannah!
I love it. They're going crazy in Savannah for that one. And the kid who caught it was on the field. They were just holding him up, because he made a nice catch on a hard hit.
It was smoked.
This is the way baseball should be played. This is how it should be done. We got to get more of that going. That's my second favorite play-by-play call of the week. We had the other one a couple of days ago. This was a soccer announcer after a Charlotte FC soccer team scored a goal.
Vargas in the area, still with it on the right side, stepping over, sending it back for Lindsay. Lindsay sends it back into the area for Swiderski. One touch, he scores! Another one for Swiderski! And that one was more impressive than the first!
Pretty amazing to hear both of those calls back to back. I'm worried for his vocal cords. His long-term vocal cords, exactly. Jeff from Virginia is talking about the Savannah Bananas. Jeff, go ahead.
My daughter comes from down in Savannah, and my wife and I kind of follow up with the Bananas, and they're really great to watch. But we've been wanting to make a trip down and watch a game, but you can't never get tickets. They're always sold out.
Oh, man. I mean, they're the hottest ticket in town, and with good reason. They keep reinventing themselves and coming up with new and better things to do. From what I understand, I would love to see. I agree.
You may see more barnstorming.
Go
more
around,
tours. That's
go
a good
around the
idea.
country. It really is. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate it.
Hope you get to see them.
So when they go to a minor league baseball team's facility in a different city, they still play their own opponent, right?
That's my understanding. They always play the same opposing team every night.
Because the rules are just always so different.
And kind of like you said with the Globetrotters in basketball, the other team's kind of in on it.
Yeah, they know, and
they know it's a show.
I'm sure Savannah usually wins, but it's I don't know. I don't know that. I just know they come up and do a lot of fun, like on stilts. And stuff
there's
like
more
that.
dancing and
really
more
cool.
this and that.
Really cool.